Welcome back, gang. If you're watching this tutorial, you're probably writing a research paper. You probably know how to use the library's online database to find articles related to your topic. But do you know how to find the right stuff? I mean, the best articles, the most relevant to your topic, written by the scholars who lead the conversation about your topic. Finding the right stuff is actually easier than you might think. I'll begin with a normal EBSCO search. I have other tutorials that show you how to log in and so on. I'll begin by entering social media. EBSCO gives me some suggestions, and I'll select body image. That's still pretty general. Let's assume that I'm at the beginning of my research process. I don't yet know which conversation I want to join. Maybe I'll find out. Through the magic of video editing, I have some results very quickly. I'll scroll down, and for some reason, this article about Fitspiration gets my interest. It's a funny word, isn't it? Ordinarily, I'd put an article like this into my folder and look at it tomorrow. For this tutorial, I'll look at it right now. In fact, I have 3 articles I'll be examining, so let me give you a fast look at them. This one is about Fitspiration. This one compares Facebook to Instagram. And this one is about body satisfaction. The articles are all very recent, so that's a good sign. And I noticed they're all published in a journal called Body Image. That's probably something I should expect when one of my terms is body image. Eventually, I'll want to make sure I'm citing articles from more than one journal. Let's look at the Fitspiration article. Like a good scholar, I'll read the abstract. Ooh. And now I'll scroll down so I can read more of the first page. This is where it gets good. You probably thought I was going to evaluate this article. I'm not. I'm interested in the article's sources. I want to know who is leading the conversation that this article wants to join. And I want to know what the conversation is about. What the big picture is about. When I'm looking for the right stuff, I enter a special frame of mind. I pay attention to the names of the article's sources. If this is the first time I've researched the topic, I probably won't recognize any names. So for now, I'm primarily storing them in my memory. But I begin to notice some patterns. You see how the article cites Farduli and Vartanian here, and then cites them again here? The dates are different. These are 2 different articles about the same topic by the same authors. Maybe they're important. It takes good funding to run a lot of studies about the same topic. Maybe Farduli and Vartanian are the right stuff. Here's another pattern. On just the first page, I see 1, 2, 3 references to the same article by Holland and Tigaman. Looking at the next page, I see a reference to Tigaman with a different co-author. And 1, 2, 3 unique citations over here. Tigaman is either a co-author or a lead author on a lot of articles about this topic. Maybe Tigaman is the right stuff. I'll scroll down so we can see more of page 2. And hello, what is this? I see 2 more citations of articles authored by Farduli and Vartanian. There's usually something special about the sources who get cited in an introduction. They're usually central figures in the large conversation about the topic. And that's especially true when the authors get multiple citations for multiple articles. I have a strong feeling that these authors really are the right stuff. Let's scroll all the way down to the references section. I've highlighted the names that make the most appearances. No surprise, the names I've already mentioned turn up a lot. 4 articles by Farduli are cited, and 8 articles by Tigaman. Let's leave this article behind and glance at the other 2 that I mentioned. I'll start with this one, the one that compares Facebook to Instagram. This time, I will jump directly to the references section. For the sake of this tutorial, I'll only stay long enough to confirm that this article cites Farduli quite a bit, and also Tigaman. Good enough for now. Let's jump to the 3rd article I lined up for you. This is the one about body satisfaction. And if I jump ahead to the references section, I see that 5 of Farduli's articles are cited and 3 of Tigamon's. At the very least, I think it's safe to say that Farduli and Tigamon are among the leaders of a conversation about social media and body image. I'll have to look closely at their articles to know exactly what they all have in common. On a different note, my eye can't help noticing that the name R.F. Rogers comes up for a total of 7 articles. That's a lot. She's cited once by the other articles we examined, and 0 times in the other. So she might be the right stuff, or maybe not. Maybe she's a key player in a separate conversation that overlaps slightly with the conversation that Farduli and Tigamon seem to be having. So, we have some names and some article titles to explore. What's the next step? One thing you can do is investigate the authors a little further. You'll end up doing this for your annotated bibliography anyway, so you might as well get started. I'll Google Tigamon. One of the first things I expect to see is a university affiliation, and here's one now. Let's look at her university profile. From her photo, I'd guess she's approaching the end of a very productive career. Her work has been cited more than 16,000 times. That's a lot. And if we scroll through a list of her publications, it just goes on and on. Let's go back to the university library. We can search for an author by name. That works well if an author has an unusual name, but not if the author has a very common name. The job gets a little easier if an article has more than one author, because putting 2 names together limits the search quite a bit. So I will enter the names of 2 authors who I remember definitely worked together. The first is Farduli. The second is Vartanian. Now I'll search, and it looks like I hit the jackpot. The first 2 titles sound promising, and as I scroll down, I see more promising titles. I'll try number 5, and here we go. Social comparisons on social media, Facebook. Sounds good? Have you noticed how many of these articles mention comparison in their titles? I think I've discovered what the conversation is all about. We can also search for a specific article title. I noticed an article by Farduli that was cited in all 3 of the articles we examined a few minutes ago, and it has the word comparison in the title. I'll paste the first few words into the search engine. Notice that I'm using quotation marks. Let me warn you, putting the title in quotation marks might fail if the title includes punctuation. It's a limitation of the search engine, I suppose. That's why I use only a few words. I'll search, and the article I'm looking for is at the top of the results. Let's take a look. Pretty cool, huh? To be honest, we got a little lucky. Our university library can access a lot of articles, but not all of them. Let me summarize what I've done. I searched the online database for articles matching my search terms. When I found a few, I did not automatically think to myself, aha, these will be the sources I cite in my essay. Instead, I used the articles as an additional tool to help me discover who is producing the work on my topic that all the other scholars think is important, because maybe these are the sources I need to read first, just to understand what my topic's all about. And maybe these are the sources I need to cite if I want to join the conversation. With that said, let me take a step backward. The goal of this tutorial is to help you find the right stuff. But ultimately, you are the judge of what's right. You don't always have to choose the sources with the most citations or the most famous authors. I've been showing you one useful strategy to enhance your research, but it's not the only strategy. Feel free to explore. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.